Hi, my name is Amie Baltes, and I'm the hospital library manager at Roundtree Library in Louisville, Kentucky. At U of L Health, I work closely with healthcare providers, focusing on clinical support. Together with my small team, we offer reference, research, and instructional services. Over the past 10 years as a librarian, I've led one-shot instruction sessions for undergrad and graduate students, faculty, and healthcare providers. Today, I'll share some teaching strategies that have worked well for me and a few thoughts on what to do when they don't. This might feel like a refresher for many of you, but I wanted to present for a couple of reasons. A recent survey my colleagues and I conducted found that many health sciences librarians from diverse backgrounds felt only somewhat or not at all prepared to teach, and I wonder if this feeling might extend to other areas of librarianship as well. And when I was in library school, I took an information literacy course, but wasn't prepared for how central teaching would be to my role. I wanted to share what I wish I'd known early on in my career about how to deliver impactful instruction. Over the next 15 minutes, I'll go through practical tips from my years of teaching adults. While some ideas might be very basic or not apply directly to your context, I hope to provide at least one useful takeaway or resource that you can apply in your next session. But first, I want to do a check-in. In the chat, please let me know how you're doing from 1 to 9 on a rubber duck scale. This slide shows a fully inflated duck at a number 1, then it shows it slowly deflating into a body of water till slide 9, where you can only see one eye and the duck is on its side. So folks shared in the chat a variety of numbers. For those of you who are at an 8 or 9 right now, I know it can be difficult to focus with so many other things competing for your attention, but I do think our information literacy efforts are crucial with the explosion of generative AI and the rapid sharing of myths and disinformation. Next, I'd like to get an idea of where people are in their instruction journey. I'm going to use the chat for this too. Please add your answer to the question, approximately how many years have you been teaching information literacy? A, less than a year, or maybe you're just info-lit curious. B, 1 to 3 years. C, 4 to 6 years. D, 7 to 10 years. And E, more than 11 years, 11 or more. Okay, so this is great to know how much experience we have in the audience. I appreciate you sharing. It looks like there's a lot of experience, which is great. So I will, and I do in live instruction sessions, adjust the content for the audience. So definitely want to hear from all of the experience in this audience today. Okay, so today I will focus on 3 practical strategies: connection, engagement, and adaptation. I want to start with the first one. Connecting with your audience lays the groundwork for effective teaching. Here's what that can look like. Briefly share who you are and why you're here. This builds credibility and humanizes you. Make it personal but relevant. Link your background to their context and what gives you the authority to speak on the topic. Check in with your audience. This could be a quick pre-assessment poll, a casual chat as people arrive, or even something light and humorous. It helps break the ice, build rapport, and set the tone. I find it helpful to acknowledge the real world. So let them know that you understand that life happens outside this room, but also why the content you're about to present matters right now. And that leads to everyone's favorite radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? Adult learners want to know how your session benefits them right now. So consider their motivation. Are they wanting to ace a test? Are they wanting to publish a manuscript? Are they engaged in patient care? Or do they want to save time? So speak to what you think will motivate your audience. So what's in it for you today? Hopefully a few practical tips that will boost your confidence and effectiveness when teaching. Now, since we have so much experience in the audience, I would love to hear about your experience. Can you think about a time when your instruction session really clicked? What did you do that got your learners actively involved or unexpectedly responsive? Please add your answer to the Padlet at this link, or this QR code will also get you to that Padlet. So here are the thoughtful responses that I received. And it looks like many people in the audience are already practicing the principles that I'm discussing today, which is wonderful. There's some really cool ideas in here, and I appreciate everybody sharing. The next strategy is to engage. So using active learning principles to involve your audience in the process can really help. When adult learners participate through case studies, simulations, discussion, or hands-on evaluation of resources, they're more engaged. They retain more and they develop a deeper understanding of the content. Also, providing a low-stakes environment in which they can practice or discuss can help your audience gain confidence and can help you guide them in real time. The next strategy is to adapt. Stay responsive and flexible, especially when things don't go as planned. Every group is different, so it's important to meet learners where they are. I'm going to share a quick story. The first time I taught a group of third-year pharmacy students in person, I could tell that very few people were listening to my content. So what I did was try to power through by talking louder and faster. I would not recommend that strategy. So I learned in the post-instruction evaluations that the information I presented would have been more appropriate for year one students. In hindsight, I wish I'd paused, asked questions, and gotten curious about what this particular audience needed in the moment and pivoted to an activity or content with more advanced content. So consider how you will respond if your learners are not on track. What is your backup plan? Here are some additional suggestions as you prepare your sessions. For sessions in academic settings, it can be helpful to connect with the faculty member before the session and ask them what the audience's prior experience is with the content that you're going to present, how your lesson is tied to their course assignments, and how many people they expect to attend. So a session for 50 people is going to look very different from a session for 10 students. So it also may be wise to record a version of your session in case everything else fails. The power goes out, you get sick, etc. You can send that recording to whoever has asked you to come visit, and they can play that instead. I also recommend that you save your presentation in multiple places, and I like to print out my slides for worst case scenario where there's no power and I have to show individual slides using a piece of paper. This may or may not have happened to me once. Okay, and on the day of, stay adaptable. Check in with your audience early to get a sense of their experience level and adjust accordingly. And here's my final tip. Review your agenda or learning objectives from the start of your session. This is a classic teaching advice. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. This reinforces key takeaways and helps learners stay oriented and focused throughout. Here is QR code. If you scan it, you will get to a list of resources that I found helpful when I was learning to teach, and I hope that you will find it helpful, and I appreciate your time and attention today.